Greetings, family. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt. It is Tuesday, October the 18th, and the time is 5:40 p.m. Hello, happy Tuesday. I hope you all are having a magnificent week. I am doing stellar, exceptional, wonderful, and I've had a great week so far, and I look forward to having an even greater week as the days go by. So, family, I just want to bring something to your attention because on my social media, I was talking about relationships. That was on yesterday and earlier today on my Facebook account about relationships. And somebody said, you need to do a video about this. But I was a little hesitant because I know typically when you speak to the males that sometimes men, although they will receive the information, it makes women a little uncomfortable. However, I thought, okay, I'll make a video and see what you all think. There is an old saying that goes, happy wife, happy life. So what that means is that the man is supposed to expend all of his time and most of his energy making the wife happy, because if she's happy in the family, the entire family runs smoothly. Well, being a woman, I've heard that most of my life, and I've seen men in certain families and even my family do everything in their power to make the woman happy. And although I'm a woman and I think that's amazing, I have a different perspective on that. Having been married, I've been in situations where my husband has tried to make me happy and do whatever, pleases me. And then on other hands, in another vein or in other scenarios, he had to say, look, I have to do what's in the best interest of the family, and you need to get on board. What I have found, family, is that when you are in a marriage, and especially if you are coming from a Christian perspective or a Muslim perspective, or even a traditional perspective, or the perspective where the man leads, what's important, and I'm going to speak to the men right now, is that the man leads. That means that the man must be confident, self-assured, and he must have a vision in order to be a leader, because leaders have visions. Okay, that means that you have an overall perspective of view of where you see your family going, versus whether that be in the near future and going in a distant future. So men, when you have a vision in mind, you give that vision to your wife, and then your wife typically casts the vision to the children and make sure that the children are on board. That's just in some scenarios in terms of traditionalism. So, happy wife, happy life. Now, I'm challenging that perspective, because happiness is fleeting. Happiness is often contingent upon a circumstance or an event. So you can be happy one minute and sad the next. And since happiness is fleeting and emotions change and emotions can be chaotic and there are ebb and flows in emotions and feelings, and particularly in women, because I'm a woman, I can speak, and in humans in general, but especially in women, men, there will come times when you cannot be concerned about just making that woman happy, because happiness is her responsibility, okay? Joy is different from happiness. Happiness is fleeting. It's based on an event or a circumstance. I spend time with my family. It makes me happy. I win the lottery. It makes me happy. I go on a vacation. It makes me happy, right? But after the vacation, sometimes life comes in and I'm not happy, or I might go on my cycle, or anything can happen. I might have a death in my family, and that can happen and cause my happiness to shift. Well, happiness is based on a circumstance or an event or happenstance. But joy is internal. Joy is a state of mind. Joy is a state of being. Joy is something that is up to each individual to cultivate, and that includes the woman. So it is not the man's responsibility to cultivate joy in a person or even to make sure she's happy at all times. Follow me, listen to me. I know we've catered to women for eons and decades, and while I do believe that a man should add to his wife's happiness, I am challenging men to stop spending so much time trying to please her, make her like you, make her happy, and instead cultivate within your wife and your family joy. And even though that's their responsibility to cultivate, if you lead assuredly and with confidence, lead, and if you provide her with sustenance and you provide her with shelter and you provide her with protection, that will lead to happiness. So more important than making her like you or making her happy is having her to respect you. So what makes a woman respect a man? What makes a woman respect a man is when a man stands in his power and authority as the leader and have a vision and cast that vision to his wife and children, and the woman then casting that vision to the children and ensuring that everything that they do aligns with his vision. So again, men, we need to respect you. Okay, so you have a vision, you cast a vision. Also, you set boundaries, whether you're courting a woman for marriage or you're already in a marriage. You set boundaries. So women typically have been taught show up late. Show up late for dates. Show up late for this, that, and the third. And so what happens is we've been so used to showing up late and doing whatever we want, and society, pandering to us, and everybody patty caking us, and oh, she's this and that. While I agree that we are all that, I mean, look at us. We give you life, right? What is important is if you set a time, if you say a date is supposed to start at 8 o'clock, this is when you're vetting for a woman, and she shows up at 8:30, you probably should get up and leave, because that will teach her to respect you, to respect that you have given a certain time frame, and to respect that your time is important. Setting boundaries establishes you as a person to be respected. If you say we're going to have a conversation at 9 o'clock and she doesn't show up, do not answer the phone if she decides to call you at 9:30 or 10, because what you're doing is you're setting the tone for how the relationship will go. You're setting the tone for how the marriage should go. You're setting the tone for how she is to respect you in business. You're setting the tone for how she is to respect your money and how she is to respect boundaries when you talk about spending. Men lead. And if you desire to have a woman that respects you and honors you, you have to mean what you say and say what you mean. So while on one hand, it is important that she is happy, remember that is her responsibility to cultivate her joy. And while you will add to her happiness, making sure she respects you will make her happy and make her like you. So you are to set boundaries and let her know that you are the man. And you don't have to say, I am the man. You garner respect. You do certain things so that she respects you. So there's the wife, there's you, and then there's the relationship. There will be times when you will do things to add to her happiness. And there will be times that you have to do things to add to or cultivate your happiness. But overall, in a marital situation, what is important is what makes the marriage or the family or that entity, the third part, strong, valuable, secure, okay? So if you're expending all of your time making somebody happy, trying to please her, you're wasting your time. what you're going to be doing is making her happy. She'll be happy for 5 minutes or for an hour or for a day or for a couple of weeks. But then the next few minutes and the next hour, the next week, you're continually trying to make her happy when that is her responsibility. Your responsibility is provision and protection and adding to her happiness, as well as setting the tone and creating the vision and casting the vision to your family. So this is something that a lot of men desire to say, but they don't feel like they can say it because society has told them that, that they're supposed to expend all their energy trying to get the woman to like them, trying to get the woman to be happy. And society has told women that it's all about you. But what we've seen is men become unhappy because they're expending all of their energy or a great portion of their energy, money, and time making her happy. And the scripture says the flesh is never satisfied. So you can make her happy and do stuff for her as often as you desire. But again, how much are you going to expend of your money and your time when you can be expending that energy having a vision, creating businesses, creating structure and discipline? Because one thing I know about me being a woman is that women are emotional. And that's a wonderful thing. It's a great thing to have emotions, to be intuitive, to go on our feelings. But if those emotions are not harnessed, or if those emotions, let's say if they're not balanced, then you can have chaos. So this is why the Creator gave us the law of gender: masculine energy, feminine energy. Feminine energy, feelings, emotions, softness, creativity, ebbing, flowing, that type of things, flowing in what feels good. Masculine energy, discipline, structure, hustling. All that needs to come together and work together in harmony, both in yourself and in your family. So men, if you desire to have respect, then you, of course, have to be respectable and be confident in as a man, be self-assured, but also disciplined and set boundaries. Now, that's something that some women who have lived in chaos do not like to hear, particularly in certain communities. And coming from a community classified as Black, but actually we're indigenous, I know that a lot of female-led families have a lot of things going on at once because you don't really have that father-led home. So the thing that's going on in my community is that, and I'll just say this is one reason that a lot of women have a hard time being corrected, so to speak, or being challenged or being encouraged to do better or grow, is because we have not come from father-led homes. And typically, and in general, I know there are some outliers, typically the man brings order, discipline, and structure. So again, one of the reasons why a lot of us have a hard time being corrected is because we did not come from father-led homes. So when you don't come from father-led homes, you view correction as an attack. And that is not what correction is. Correction is something to help you to grow. Now, in our society, people don't like being challenged. They don't like correction. They don't even like being judged. And people tell me all the time when they don't want to hear what I have to say is that you're judging. Yes, I am. Yes, I am a judge. That's what elders do. That's what people in certain positions do. We judge. And if you're a wise person and you have wisdom and knowledge passed down to you from your ancestors and from your other realms and other entities and other realms into which you exist, because you know that right now you're living in this particular realm, but you have the same spirit or soul that is existing in different dimensions at the same time. So if you have all this wisdom and knowledge and comprehension, it is your responsibility to judge. What is judgment? Judgment is making a decision once you look at all the facts, making a decision on what to do with those facts, okay? Or with the information that is provided to you or that you see before you. A wise judge makes righteous decisions. That's why you have judges at the court. We had judges in our communities, which were our elders. And some people, it's the ancients or the ancestors. Yes, people are put into your community to judge you. Now, in this society, they don't like to be judged. They say, don't judge me, don't shame me. I can do whatever I want to do. So what you see is a lot of chaos. Again, a lot of women in certain communities, and particularly in the community classified as Black, the women do not like to be corrected or even judged. But let's say corrected because they did not come from father-led homes. So they look at correction as an attack, and it is not an attack. When you grow up and you mature, especially emotionally and psychologically, when you mature, you allow yourself to go through the fire, because like a diamond, you have to go through the fire, because initially that diamond might look like coal, but when you purify it and allow it to go through the fire time after time after time, it comes out shining. A lot of things, once it goes through the fire, becomes purified or perfected. So yes, you are to be judged. You are to be critiqued if you desire to grow. Now, if you're immature, emotionally immature, your EQ, emotional quotient is low, you would view everything as an attack. But when you grow up and you say, I desire to become highly self-actualized and maximize my potential, both as a woman and a man, you will allow yourself to be sharpened. Now, we will say it's not what you say, it's how you say it, blah, blah, blah. But for some people, it doesn't matter if you say it nicely, sweetly, kindly, put rose on it, sugar, honey, cream, whipped cream. They still may view it as an attack. So while, yes, I agree that we that are in leadership positions may use certain methodologies to give good, sound advice. You can be sweet, you can be kind. There will be times, especially for you as a man, where you're going to just have to be cut and dry and let people know what it is. Women are expecting you men to act like women, but that's not who you are. Men are different from you, okay? Although we both have masculine and feminine energies within us, some men just aren't really emotionally based. So they might just say, that's not right. Do this, or this is how I feel it should be. That does not mean it's an attack, okay? Men, again, garnering respect will make her like you, okay? Setting boundaries, casting a vision, and having putting discipline in your home is what makes her respect you. Now, let's get back to judgment. The scripture says, judge not that ye be not judged. And so people like to stop there and say, don't judge me. The Bible says, judge not that you be not judged. But the second part of that scripture is, for whatever measure that you mete out to somebody else will be meted out to you. Now, when you are a strong person and you like to be sharpened and you're okay with going through the fire and being perfected, you understand when you exegete and eisegete the scriptures, that it's not saying don't judge. It's saying if you do judge, just understand and understand and overstand that you're going to be judged the same way that you judge others. The same measure that you judge out or mete out is going to be given to you. So my mother-in-law used to always say, God rest her soul, elect Lady Sandra K. Lattimore, if you judge yourself, nobody has to judge you. So she used to say, daughter, look in the mirror. Look at yourself from head to toe and judge yourself. Judge your outward appearance, judge your character, judge your values, and set your values high and your morals and principles high. Judge your own self, and you got to first have something to judge yourself and measure yourself up against. For us, it was the scriptures. For some, it is the 48 laws of Ma'at. For others, it is the Torah. For some, it is the Quran and different books. It's maybe the books of Buddha. But whatever you have that sets a high moral values and principles, it could be the Asara Set Society. It could be a number of things. Judge yourself. Even judge yourself by your highest self. Ask your highest self how I ought to live, and judge yourself and set high standards for yourself and then meet that expectation. So that when you go out as a leader, men and even women and whomever I am speaking, if a person judges you, you will be okay. Hopefully you've passed the judgment that they cast upon you. But if not, you will allow yourself to be scrutinized, judged, and corrected so that you can grow, because the same measure that you mete out to somebody else is what's going to be meted out to you. So if you do all that work yourself before you become a judge, then it won't bother you. So somebody said to me, and so in one of my groups that I was leading, oh, you're just judging me. You're just judging me. And I was like, well, you came to this group and you asked, how can you grow? And I'm telling you that one of the issues that's in your community is that you didn't come from a father-led home. It's hard for you when a man just speaks. His voice is thunderous. Even if he speaks lowly, you can't handle that. You don't know how because you didn't grow up with men. This is a problem when we don't grow up with men. We don't understand their voices, their tone, sometimes the way they think, which is why we need to sit down with men and talk with them and get to know them. Now, some of you already know this, but some do not. So she said, you're judging me and you must have had this, that, and that type of family and you wouldn't want to be judged. And I said, no, please judge me. Judge me. What do you want to talk about? Judge me. What? You want to talk about my marriage? You want to talk about how many children I had, by whom I've had my children? Do you want to discuss my education? Do you want to discuss how many churches I've helped to grow? Do you want to discuss the tens of thousands of people that the Creator speaks through me so that I can support? How do you want to judge me? Go for it. Go at it. And if you can find a standard that I need to reach, please, by all means, do it. I'm here. I'm listening. I'm ready. I'm willing. I'm able to stay here and allow you to sharpen me. What is it? But what I found at the end of that conversation was it wasn't even about me. Because, of course, she couldn't say anything. I mean, she probably could have picked something, but she didn't. And the reason why it was very challenging for her is because, my darlings, I judge myself first. And I put myself around people who are smarter than I, sharper than I, more healthy than I, honestly, and people who can make me a better person, because what is important to me is maximizing my potential as the person that I am. What is important to me is being sharp. What is important to me is to be disciplined. What is important to me is to have integrity, those type of things. And when you have those values, it doesn't matter to you if somebody corrects you. It might hurt, a little bit. It might hurt your ego. But when you can swallow your pride and your ego and say, sharpen me, groom me, help me to grow, make me better, you will do so much better in life. You will go so much further in life. And the first thing to help you get there, who's that? Oh, hi, baby. Is taking accountability for your life. So again, if you are a leader, you need to cast a vision. You need to have discipline and make sure everybody else around you has discipline. You need to set boundaries, and you need to make sure that you as yourself are highly self-actualized and that you are in a position of growth. So that is the discussion for today. Again, it's coming from my other social media platforms. Some people actually ask me to make a video about it. So if you are leading a business, a family, anything, then make sure you have a vision. You cast a vision before the people, and the people are on board. So every single person in that organization, whether it's a family or a company, should be in alignment with your vision. And everything that you do should be in alignment with that vision. And every single person who is listening to the vision should make sure that they are able to live up to the vision. And if they're having a hard time, then you have different ways and measures to support them so that they can get on board. So that's the discussion for today. My name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I hope I've said something to raise your vibrations and encourage you to live the best life that you can and that you so wonderfully desire and deserve. Now, having said that, on tonight, I'm going to do an interview with Moors in America. That is a YouTube channel. I will put that video up for you all to listen, because we're going to talk about going back to the gold standard, why that is important, and how you can prepare. Additionally, on next Tuesday, I'm going to interview Andy Schekman, who is the CEO of Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company. As I've always told you all, Andy has been in business for 30 plus years, and he has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and not have ever had one complaint. Andy is a very personal person, and even though he's a CEO, he speaks directly to his customers. So either he or his agents can speak to you, but he is very accessible if you need to talk to him about IRAs, how to get gold, how to store gold even, and silver. You will be able to ask those questions to Andy on next Tuesday, and he will answer them for you. So if you desire to get any type of gold or silver from Andy Schekman, then please go to info@milesfranklin.com. That's info@milesfranklin.com. Email Andy. He will send you a list of his inventory along with his specialties and his prices, and then he will take your order from there. Let him know in that email, or if you give him a call, that Dr. Kia Pruitt recommended you, and you will get the best prices in the industry. Now, you all know I do my research. So I research every single precious metals company that I could find. And I found out that, yes, Andy Schekman does have the best prices in the industry, probably because he knows a lot of wholesalers. He's been doing this for many, many years, and people trust him and they enjoy doing business with him. Now, if you're doing business, you have to be a person of integrity, and not just in business, but your life should be one in which people respect you. And that's what I found out with Mr. Andy Schekman and others that have worked for his company. So I am a sales agent, or representative, I should say, with his company. And right now you can go at milesfranklin.com and look at what he has, but the prices aren't listed yet. And one of the reasons why he does that is because prices are fluid. They change often. But if you call him or email him directly, he can give you the most updated price list, because again, he's always shopping around for the best prices in the industry. However, he is working on a website right now in order to have the prices right there. And it's an interactive website so that you'll be able to order yourself directly from the website. And we're working on the website, so it would be milesfranklin.com/Kia Pruitt or Dr. Kia Pruitt, so that all of my supporters and my family members and my soul family can go there to my page that's connected to Miles Franklin, and you will be able to order your precious metals. So that's it for today. I love you, family. I am so honored and grateful that you join me every single day or every other day to listen to the intel and information that I desire to share with you. So have a good evening. I'm getting ready for this interview that's going to occur in about an hour. Take care and make this a great day. Mwah. Peace.